Good morning, my loves. Sick and tired here. And today we are going to be visiting Reddit. We are going to be visiting the Am I Overreacting subreddit. So grab your drink and get comfortable. Am I overreacting by ghosting my parents after they asked me for money? Since I posted my last post about winning money gambling on Stake US and having my parents ask for help after they kicked me out years ago, I've just been letting their texts sit unread. No replies, no typing bubbles, nothing. They kicked me out the second I turned 18. No heads up, no backup plan, just
figure it out.
And I did it. I figured it out without them. Now that I've got money, they're blowing up my phone like we're some big happy family. Saying things like,
"We always knew you'd be successful.
Family helps each other.
We could really use a hand with bills."
Yeah, I think that's the one that they're most worried about. But where was my helping hand when I was couch surfing and working graveyard shifts to survive? Now I'm supposed to feel bad for ignoring them? I haven't blocked them. I haven't cussed them out. I've just stayed silent because honestly, that silence feels earned. We actually just had a video about how not saying anything at all can be the most powerful way to cut off negativity in your life.
I don't think that you guys comprehend how powerful it is to never speak to someone again. Not arguing, not carrying on, not making a scene, to never speak to them again. Ooh, the burn.
So am I overreacting for choosing peace over guilt and just ghosting them completely? I respond to my other family members. I don't think you're overreacting. I hold a very firm stance that I think it's shitty parenting if you force your kids to move out before they're ready. I mean, just kicking your kid out when they're 18, they're still trying to figure things out. And of course, they don't have the money to make it on their own at that age. So no, even if none of that applied, even if you were grown and well off with your parents or whatever, and you won money, you don't have to give it to anybody. It's your money. You can be nice and help them out if you want to, but you don't owe it to them. Am I overreacting? Fiance forgot about our 2-month-old baby. A little backstory. I, female 26, and fiance, male 26, have a 1-year-old daughter and 2-month-old daughter. He's a great dad to our oldest, but we've been having some issues. I get really frustrated because he can become very forgetful to the point where I feel like I need to remind him everything that needs to be done. Some examples: paying certain bills at certain points in the month, buying dog food when he already knows we ran out, feeding our 1-year-old lunch and checking/changing her diaper if he is the only one watching her, washing his work clothes. He will just put dirty work clothes back on, and a lot of smaller things he tends to forget. With our newest member of the family, our 2-month-old, I've been doing all the caretaking. In the beginning, when she was first born, I thought it was because I was breastfeeding her so often that he wasn't really able to step in and help with anything because I was breastfeeding nearly every 2 hours, and I felt like she was glued to my boob all the time. I've been encouraging him to spend more time with her now as she's not feeding as often, and he hasn't really. He has a great bond with our 1-year-old, and she adores him, and he adores her, but it seems like he wasn't as excited or enthusiastic about our 2-month-old as he is with our 1-year-old. He has held her only a handful of times in the 2 months since she's been born and changed, I think, just one diaper. He doesn't ask to hold her. He only does when I ask him to, usually if I have my hands full and need to do something. I was going to say maybe he's having memory issues. Well, tonight I had just gotten our 1-year-old in her jammies and in her crib and came to my room to fold some of her laundry. My 2-month-old was in the baby swing in the living room with my fiance, who was still watching TV. Well, he walked into the bedroom, plugged in his phone, and climbed into bed and closed his eyes. I looked at him and said, "Where's our 2-month-old?" And he said,
I thought you had her.
I immediately dropped what I was doing and went out to the living room. He had shut off all the lights and TV and walked right past her, leaving her in complete darkness. Oh no! Oh, the poor baby. He claimed he didn't see her in the baby swing. The baby swing is in front of the main walkway that leads straight to our bedroom. I turned on the hallway light and picked her up immediately and hugged her and told her I loved her and that I was so sorry she was alone in the dark. She was just looking around wide-eyed without a care in the world. It's not funny, but it just reminds me of one time my husband walked out of the house to just put the trash in the trash can. My daughter, I think she was like maybe 2. She locked him out and he freaked out, and I rushed home and we opened the door and she was just sitting on the couch watching TV. I'll never forget how scared I was. And he was just walking into the garage. She must have like darted over there and locked him out. Maybe she was tired of watching what he was watching and she locked him out so that she could watch Yo Gabba Gabba. But I was very bothered by this. I nearly cried at the thought of him forgetting about her. It immediately reminded me of those stories you hear about babies being forgotten in hot cars, and I wanted to bawl my eyes out. I don't know if it's postpartum hormones and I'm just overreacting, but this was such a big deal to me. My babies are my number one priority and first and last thought of my day. He's acting like it was no big deal, an honest mistake, and maybe it was, but I genuinely feel like he doesn't care about her as much as our other daughter, or at all. Yikes, this is a really sad one. I would say you need to just sit down and talk to him and tell him how you're feeling. You know, how he was more connected with your first child and now he seems disconnected. I don't feel like you're overreacting. I would be very hurt too. And it seems like he's totally not bothered by the things that he's not doing. Almost like,
Oh yeah, I forgot about there. Oh, sorry.
like it's giving that feeling. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, you're going to have to just sit down and talk to him and tell him how you're feeling and ask him if something's wrong. I don't know. That's the best advice that I can give. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend told me I'm headed towards getting fat. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Some background. For my entire childhood until about 6 to 7 years ago, I was always severely underweight. I had a fast metabolism, I was super active, and I've always struggled with gastrointestinal problems. I didn't even hit 120 pounds until after I graduated college. I always caught hell for it. From my dad, from friends and family, even from strangers. I always heard,
You're too skinny.
and the standard cliche, you should eat a insert food of choice here. A cheeseburger. That's usually what people say, right?
Should eat a cheeseburger.
They're skinny shaming you. I could eat a cheeseburger right now. I'm now 31. I'm 5 feet, 5 inches tall, and I weigh 134 pounds. I have PCOS, abnormal symptoms, so it took them a while to diagnose me. And I finally have my gastro issues sort of under control. Diagnosed with gastroperesis almost 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. We're going to read the rest, but if you have gastroperesis and this is going where I think it's going, I have a Nexplanon implant, not sure what that is. And ever since I started taking meds for the gastroparesis, I've been eating more and gaining a little weight. I've been in the 130s for the last year and a half. I was in the mid 120s for most of my mid-late 20s. So it's not like I jumped from 120 to 134 in a short amount of time. Anyway, today my boyfriend and I were goofing around and I hugged him and picked him up. He felt super light. He's lost a decent amount of weight in the last month or two because he's been drinking a gallon of water a day instead of energy drinks and soda. And I asked him how much he weighed now. He said he wasn't sure and went to track down the scale. He weighed 156. I got on as well out of curiosity. Neither of us gets on the scale often, and it said 134.2. I jokingly said, dang, what a fatty. And he said,
Geez, yeah, you're definitely heading towards it.
Now, I really wouldn't have thought too much into this comment, except one, he was 1,000% serious, and two, it's not the first time he's made a comment about that recently. Last week, somehow the topic of losing weight came up, and I said it wouldn't be hard for me to lose 5 or so pounds pretty quickly. We weren't discussing me losing weight specifically before that, just losing weight in general. I guess it was my mistake for turning the conversation towards me, but he said,
Did you lose 10?
oh girl, kick him out, kick him to the curb, you don't need him. And that eventually led to him asking if I could get back down to below 120. I told him that would be too much, that I've spent most of my life trying to get to a healthy weight, and that I finally feel like I have the body of a woman as opposed to feeling like a prepubescent girl. So I don't want to go back to that. Then that should be the end of that discussion right then and there. When he made that comment tonight, it flew all over me. I called him an asshole and told him he doesn't need to comment on my weight anymore, especially when I'm nowhere near fat. He argued that he didn't call me fat. He said I'm heading towards it. He said it's a health concern because I'm more prone to obesity and diabetes with both PCOS and gastroparesis. I don't understand how you're prone to obesity if you have gastroparesis. Am I thinking of the wrong condition? Because I thought with gastroparesis, you're very, very frail, very thin, and that you can't eat food. Am I thinking of the wrong thing? While I can understand he may be concerned about that, he didn't make the comment in a way that conveyed any type of concern, other than concern for my physical appearance. Maybe I'm just taking it the wrong way. I don't know. I need an unbiased opinion. So am I justified in my reaction, or am I overreacting? You are definitely not overreacting. You should be so happy that you are gaining weight. Like, that is a miracle. I thought if you had gastroparesis, I didn't even know that you could eat food. I thought that you had to have a feeding tube. So you are so lucky. And 134 pounds, good God, I wish I was 134. That's probably what you should be, right? At 5'5". I'm 5'7", and I think my perfect weight or whatever it's supposed to be according to my height, 130 to 140. He is an asshole, and you can tell him to get lost. So like, you have a very serious illness that you will have for the rest of your life. Of course, there's always that one nice guy in the comment section, and I just wanted to share what he had to say with you.
I guess he should just say nothing. Watch you gain a bunch of weight, dump you, and move on with his life. It sounds like you would prefer that. He may not have communicated it the way you would prefer, but if he cares enough to tell you that you're gaining weight and he wants to help you, that's a good sign he actually cares about you.
No. No. Don't listen to this loser. If you are doing well with your illness and you are happy, that is all that matters. And he can fuck off. I hope you told him to fuck off. And if he wants to nag you about you being overweight at 130, you should nag him right back for being 156 pounds when he's a guy. What is this, him right here? Always give the same energy back that they give you. You know, if you're petty like me, I'm kind of an angry person, so.
You're kidding.
Am I overreacting for not wanting my mother's emotionally abusive boyfriend to go on vacation with us? So this one is all text messages. Now, we are going to start with a text message that she received. It says in September, and then the following messages are between her and her mother, and they are just as awful as you can imagine. September, from mom's boyfriend to me.
So it's like this. You won't see me around because I think you are a complete bitch. I don't care who you show this to. I just don't want to be sharing the same air with you. If you wanted to ruin your mother's relationship, you have done it. Please tell your mother to let me go so I never have to see your ugly face again.
So this is the way her mother's boyfriend talks to her. You think mom is going to be like,
How dare you?
and, run this guy off a cliff? No, of course not, because it's this channel.
Yeah, I should protect you.
I should, I guess.
But your behavior isn't always perfect. Neither is mine or anyone else's.
Nobody is able to take responsibility for the way he treats me. You can't admit that you didn't protect us and that you're still allowing him to have this behavior. He can't admit that he messed up. And when I tried to get him to, he called me a bitch again in front of you. What type of mother lets their boyfriend stand in front of their kid and call them a bitch to their face? That is unacceptable. If anybody said that to my daughter, I would just go full Daenerys on them.
There's days that everyone acts like bitches. I do when I'm tired. Blank does when she is tired. We all have times when we feel like that or act like that.
I think you're missing the point here. A 50-year-old man has been calling me a bitch since I was 11 in my house, where I am supposed to feel most comfortable and supported. That is ridiculous and inexcusable. You were in the room witnessing the way that most recent argument progressed. You let him say that.
I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong, because he did. He grew up in a family where that word was used on a regular basis. Sometimes we have to understand that not everyone grew up exactly like us. So using that word to them isn't that big a deal.
Wow, mom of the year here. It doesn't matter. If she's uncomfortable with it, tell him to knock it off. Why would you choose him over your daughter? And of course, the daughter is expected to just be okay with it. She's expected to be the bigger person. And like always, we're making excuses for the person that's being an asshole.
Oh, he grew up in a...
I don't care.
You need to let the things in the past be in the past so you can both move on.
That doesn't change the feelings that I have. I felt like I didn't have a mother for a substantial amount of time. I felt like I was being bullied by a grown adult man, because you were. Obviously, that is going to have repercussions and affect me mentally. You weren't there for me when I needed you at a formative age. You've admitted that before.
I guess I am a terrible mother then.
Oh, she said it. Yes, you are a terrible mother. And so now don't be here for her. Let her have her boyfriend if he's so much more important, and you go on and have a fabulous life without them. Am I overreacting? I paid $45 for a cake that's not even the right color. Oh, got some more cake stuff. And as I have never mentioned before, I used to be a cake decorator. So this This will be fun. Not for the person that got the bad cake, but you know. Okay, so this is the cake. This is the picture of the cake. It's absolutely beautiful. And look at that! It's like it's my cake. Witches never age. Beautiful deep green. All of that beautiful piping around it. Gorgeous cake. This should be my cake this year. Okay, so then we have the text messages between the person that ordered the cake and the person that's decorating it. I'm not super worried about the color being spot on as long as it's a deeper earthy or sage green. Just avoid a green that's too blue. Got it. What day do you want to pick it up? Don't worry, she's got you covered. Let's take a look at the cake. Okay, you can see right there on the side of the cake, they messed up. Look at that. You can see the difference in the smoothing texture on the cake. Look, you can even see where it's piped on top. Either there was a blemish here and they covered it up or they smushed the cake. That is definitely not deep green. That cake, it's teal. I see teal. So I wanted to get my best friend a nice birthday cake. I normally make my friends and family cakes myself, as in the past I haven't really had money to get one made professionally. So this year I found a bakery in town that had good reviews, and I checked out their Facebook profile. Most of their stuff looked really nice, so I felt like I was making a safe choice going with them. I said I wasn't picky about the color, just not a bluish green. I even gave some examples of the color I was looking for. I got the cake today and it's borderline teal. It's not borderline, it is teal. I didn't say anything in the store because I was nervous and thought maybe it was bad lighting. Also, I really just didn't want to be one of those people. Understandable. But now I'm home and looking at it and I want to cry because I paid $45 for this and I can't even think of how to fix it. My other friends say I should try to get a refund, but I feel like I should have done that earlier before paying for the cake. I'm so frustrated, but I don't know if it's bad enough to warrant making a fuss about it. Originally, the cake was supposed to have the gold accents, but she told me that it would be an extra $25 for gold accents? Oh, wow. $25 for, that is ridiculous. So I was like, that's fine. Just use a lighter shade of the same green. It's not even the same shade. Wait, it was supposed to be a lighter shade. It looks like cream cheese, actually. It looks like they piped it in cream cheese to me. I'm sorry, but it doesn't look very nice. The way that they iced it, they flat iced it, actually doesn't look too bad, except for that side where it got smushed. The piping isn't terrible. The cream cheese colored piping, I think, doesn't look very good. Regardless, you wanted a deep green and this is teal. I'm sorry. Next time ask me, I'll make your cake for you. So that is it for today, guys. Were they overreacting? Were they not overreacting? You tell me. Don't forget to make your voices heard down below. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I hope your magic is strong. I hope your symptoms are low. I love you guys. Bye.